Welcome to. Fuck, hold on. Van started mouthing something.
I was gonna say, I don't know who's going first here, but I guess this is the intro of the episode. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Hello, hello.
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess it's the intro of the episode. Thanks, Ryan. Welcome, guys. It's Wednesday. Man, it's Wednesday. As promised, we're gonna be talking about Bel'Veth, the Empress of the Void. Is that what her title is?
Empress of the Void.
Queen of the Void. Whatever. Okay, cool.
She's Queen of the Queefs.
Okay, so we're gonna go over her abilities today and all her scaling and all that nonsense. But really quick, we're gonna go back a few weeks to go over some Q&As and some polls that we did.
Yes.
And going back to episode 55, which was the low elo draft battle, our poll was who had the better draft, and I'd like to say I won.
Okay. According to our fans, we'll have to see how it plays out when we get our draft battle going.
Right, guys. If you're interested in playing that for us, or participating in that for us, we'd fucking love that. We want to take the exact picks and then have like a game, and Tyler and I are going to cast it. We could even do like a best of 3.
Yeah.
I don't even know, like, or better yet, we could do like that, and then you can have like a game where you guys pick whatever the fuck you want. But
yeah, whatever it is, we can.
We want to cast a game.
Yes, and so if you guys want to do that, either DM me or Dean on Discord, or on Instagram, or on Twitter.
Wherever. Everything's in the link tree in the
Yes.
description. Hit it up.
Yes.
So yeah, and on top of that, we had people write in explaining why they voted for what they voted for.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll start with Mayo, who wrote in and said, I think the Kale comp wins because they have more CC to work with. Annie, Alistair, TF. And Alistair can counter the Scion Q. I think maybe I'll have to look into that. Look that up. Okay, yeah, I think... well, is it even fair for me to answer this question? Because he's basically saying that...
You can answer the question.
I mean, Annie, Alistair, TF.
Yeah, it's a pretty big CC chain for sure.
I mean, originally when we did that, I was hoping my TF would be mid, but I had to pivot that.
Yeah.
But I think... I think I just had more hard CC than you.
You definitely have more, I would say, more reliable hard CC.
Sure.
Did I keep my team? Did I write it down? I think I did.
Was it Jax, Warwick, Kale? No.
Jax, Warwick,
Kale.
Ashe, Scion, Teemo.
Oh yeah, you had Teemo.
Teemo, I know. Well, there was like no more champions to pick. I got stuck having to pick Teemo.
It was so
literally right out of champions. I'm like, okay.
It was difficult, dude.
So yeah, the CC that's on my team isn't quite as hard, although we have the suppression and the counter strike, the helicopter dick, and the Ashe arrow. It's all a lot, and the Scion. It's all a lot less reliable than an Annie ultimate. So that's a thing. Let's see. So yeah, I don't know. It's a very interesting thing. I know Joa. So the Tyler's comp is a full anti-carry comp, except Warwick, who falls off late, and Jax on the side lane, but Annie and Kale have the wave clear to stop him. But if Tyler's team snowballs with Warwick, I see a chance. And yeah, either Warwick or Jax would have to be the one to snowball, and they would have to be able to probably 1v2. You know, you're going to lose the side lane probably in the bot side. But you're right, it is totally an anti-carry comp. Like, don't fucking touch me. I'm trying to outpush you. So it's an interesting comp. Like I said, I kind of got forced into that, considering there's no more champions to pick. So I kind of got stuck with Teemo, which I didn't really want, but think could make work on a TF, stopping a gold card or something like that, or at least helping a split push with some mushrooms in the back as Jax retreats or something like that. So there are definitely options there. It's not a total loss. I think it comes down to how macro plays out.
And finally, Gungnir wrote in and said, Dean won. The ones that were factors for me were Jax, Kale, and Annie, and Dean taking 2 out of 3. And he says he is up for playing this. Cool.
Yes.
So if you, I believe you're in the Discord, send us a message, or I guess we'll have to figure out a day.
Yeah.
It'll most likely be on a Saturday.
Yeah.
and it'll probably be a few hours.
Yeah,
Play a couple games. We'll play some games. We'll ever fucking. I'll fucking stream it too. We'll get it. We'll get a VOD of it or something, and we'll upload the whole thing on YouTube.
for sure.
We'll make it an event. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll
But
make a whole
guys,
thing out of it.
thank you. That was really fun. So if you guys have more ideas for us to do,
We're
anything
open.
similar to like drafts like that, or I don't want to call it a sketch, or like a segment, like kind of like that, because
Right.
it's definitely different than what we normally do.
Right.
We're all ears, and it was really fun.
Yeah, feel free to submit those via the voice option on Anchor.
Ooh, yeah.
And then we had a Q&A from episode 57, which was the patch. I know the question was, in your opinion, what do you think is the biggest change of this patch? And we'll start with my boy Joa, who has some faith in me. As a mid main, I think that late game / battle mages will rise in priority. I wonder how this will change. I wonder how this change will affect mid lane assassins like Fizz or Katana Fish. Also, by the way, the turret won't change the damage to minions.
Right.
Good to
Okay.
know. The turret does hit like a motherfucking freight train if you're not careful, so do be advised of that, guys. That thing
Right.
fucking hurts.
So I know they, this was obviously these were wrote in before there was the update of 12.10b,
Yeah.
and I know a few mages got nerfed.
Yes.
Which we went over. Yeah, I don't. I mean, as far as also with assassins, I think you can't really face roll people anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a Katarina because I've been banning that bitch. Fuck that.
Fuck that JB.
I haven't seen too many assassins, surprisingly.
Right. That's
So
not a terrible thing.
God bless.
Yeah. And then Mayo said, hopefully won't be seeing Aurelia as much in solo queue as they usually take over the game. And I think Brand and other percent health damage champs are going to be sleeper pog champs. And I will tell you, we did play against a Brand early on in the patch, and that shit was fucking stupid. Dumbass amount of damage for no reason. That guy played like a little bush Wookiee, so that part kind of sucked. He was never where you expect him to be. So he just ended up playing actually well. But those are the two replies. How about the poll? You want to go over the poll?
Yeah, I said the poll was, how much do you think this patch 12.10 will impact the game? 78% said a lot, 22% said a little, and 0% said not at all, which I would have been very concerned if you said not at all. This is one of the biggest patches, if not the biggest patches, in a very long time.
Yeah. No, seriously. I said I think it's going to change a little, and I think so far I've been mostly right on that. I haven't seen any real drastic changes in terms of champions besides seeing a lot of Vel'Koz and Anivia, and I think you're seeing that because these are champions that burn, and like Vel'Koz deals a lot of true damage. So I think that's why you're seeing Vel'Koz, people trying to combat the health with true damage. And Anivia just because she just burns people, and the more health you have, the more you're gonna get out of your Leandry's Torment. So I think that's why you're seeing those, but I mean, more or less, you're seeing the same ADCs. You're seeing a lot of Lucian just because he scales a little bit more later now. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's changed a whole lot.
I think I mean I played a fair amount of games, and I know we briefly went over this on Monday, but there are a lot of instances where I felt like I was gonna die, but then I'm like, oh wait, I got extra 70 HP
Yeah.
from the get go, and I survived because of that.
Yep.
Team fights are a lot closer.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking as much as champs that do percent damage, or Vayne
Yeah.
got hit, with 12.10b.
She did.
Because 12 or they didn't touch her on the main patch, and everyone knows she has percent true damage, and I wouldn't be surprised if other champ like Vel'Koz or any champions that deal true damage might get hit a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Especially at least ones that are getting played a lot.
Yeah.
So that is great. Thanks you guys for writing in, participating. And yeah, I guess we were gonna briefly just talk about MSI because RNG won. If you
What a
didn't get a chance to watch those
surprise.
finals, they were fucking good.
You know what?
Except for T1 leaving up Gwen every fucking time. It was like
Oops.
I don't know what their issue was. They I can't, I don't know the coach's name on T1,
Mm-hmm.
but he ended up blaming their loss on side selection.
Ooh. You know what? Were they red side? I didn't watch any of the series. Were they red side most of the series?
Well, they were probably, but every time they were on red side, like I was saying, Gwen like basically won them all their games, and every time RNG was on red side, they banned Gwen. But every time T1 was on red side, they left Gwen open, and it just steamrolled.
I know that red side was kind of useless in the tournament, and like a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you got red side, so you might as well just FF because you're not gonna win." So it sounds like blue side's OP right now, or at least in that. I guess in that game state. I don't know if it's OP right now at the moment, but um, I didn't watch any of it. It was on far too fucking late slash early in the middle of the night, too middle of the night, and I think I was listening to a little bit of Travis Gafford talking about how NA viewership was poor, but
Wonder why.
when the games are on at 1 a.m., who the fuck is gonna watch? And when the NA teams and the even the EU teams, I think a lot of NA people like to watch the EU teams too, aren't in it. Who the fuck cares? It's just it's sad, but no one's gonna get
I
up
mean,
early to watch that shit in the middle of the night if not even any of their teams are on. You're like, oh cool, it's RNG and T1. I don't really care who's gonna win because both of them are OPAF.
well, I mean, if you're just a fan of like high quality play, at least go watch the replays, the highlights, because
Right.
they're very much more compressed down into shorter times, obviously. And
Yeah.
there's some, there were, it was very close games, and they're pretty enjoyable. So yeah, um, maybe at Worlds NA will do it because we're in NA. Speaking of, I'm really concerned because they have not released ticket information yet.
No, they have not, and I'm trying to get them tickets
Oh
ASAP.
yeah, we are lucky enough. We're in the Bay Area, Northern California, and the grand finals are in San Francisco.
Yep.
So
Yep.
can't wait
So
to go to that. So that's gonna be amazing.
can't
But
wait to watch
yeah.
T1 face off against RNG again.
Oh right, right. So yeah, guys, we're gonna go over Bel'Veth in a moment, right after this break. All right, it's time for the Bel'Vussy, the Void Ussy.
She's definitely a void
Rand loves
ussy.
that
Dude,
one.
the middle of her splash art is just her ussy. I don't know
Her Ussy.
what I guess it's her mouth, but like
Yeah, it's
because
her.
she's got the
It's her
fake
mouth.
legs and the fake head, and like why does her fake head kind of look like Elise? I don't know.
Because it's got a.
It's a vussy,
Because the whole point of her is a fairly, must say, as attractive as you can be with this kind of character,
I
and it's
guess.
misleading to like a fucking monster.
Right, and you know what? That's like the biggest complaint I guess that people have had over the past few years of like Riot not making monster champs, always trying to make quote unquote hot champs. And I do find it's actually rather funny that they decided to basically pull a MacGuffin, like make a hot champ that's actually a monster champ or whatever. So well done, Riot. Way to take the narrative and use it in your favor. I think that is actually hilarious.
I
Um,
do know that they've been talking about creating like a pure monster champion, and this is not it. There is another one that's going to be coming next year.
ooh, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, is this the one that you were promising us?" And they're like, "No, this isn't it." So
That ain't it, Chief. Well, this thing
that
is
ain't it.
fucking stupid if you guys have seen it in the videos. So let's get into it with the stats. We're using Surrender at 20's stats, and these are, I believe, ripped off the PBE.
Yep.
Um, does not have her starting mana pool on here. I don't know why. I wonder if it's.
She doesn't use mana.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Oops.
There you go. See, I haven't looked enough at this champion. So blank in the starting mana pool. She's gonna start with 32 MR, which is actually kind of high. I think a lot of champions start at 25 to 28.
I mean, she's a jungler, so she's
Right,
gonna have to a little bit extra.
right, and she's gonna get 2.05 MR per level. Um, she starts with 60 AD and gains 2 per level. She starts with 32 armor but gains 4.7 per level. I think that's more than most And yes, she is a jungler, but that is an absurdly high amount of armor. I mean, at level 5, you're going to have an extra 20, which is more than a cloth armor. Like it's, or actually, you're going to have more than 20. You're going to have an extra
Just about
22.
25.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually pretty nuts.
Hmm.
Her base HP is 610, and she gains 105 per level. Her HP regen is trash, so she's gonna gain 0.17 regen per level. Her regen to start is 8.5 every 5 seconds, so that's pretty trash. That's not very much at all. And she has a base move speed of 340 and attack range of 125, making her a melee character.
Oh yeah, melee as fuck. Again, if you haven't seen the videos, she just bitch slaps you with auto
She
attacks.
literally bitch slaps you over and over and over again. It's pretty fucking gross.
It's very odd looking.
It is very weird. It looks like a bat just swinging its wings at you. I don't know. It's like it's like what I imagine Vel'Koz looks like when he auto attacks if you built him full attack speed.
So I haven't had the opportunity to go on PvE and just I usually like to play just custom bot games just to feel for this champion. Like 3,000,000% a jungler. There's no way you're gonna be able to play this bitch in lane,
Okay.
which we'll get to in a second.
Okay.
We'll start with her passive, Death in Lavender. After using ability, Bel'Veth becomes ghosted, and her next 2 attacks gain 25 to 50% scaling based on level attack speed.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
not bad. That's so she doesn't have her resource bar is the I think they're called stack. No, Lavender is her passive. She has little stacks as she uses an ability. They fill up her resource bar to like a max of 6, and then they're consumed as she's auto attacking. So it's like, so she gets her next 2 attacks gain blah blah blah. So when she uses an ability, there'll be like 2 little bars that pop up representing the next 2 auto attacks to get the bonus attack speed,
Okay.
and it just fills up.
Okay. Yeah.
B-
Let's see the
so
lavender thing. Okay. Okay.
Bel'Veth gains 1 lavender stack for large monster takedowns and 2 lavender stacks for champion and epic monster takedowns. Each stack permanently grants 0.25 to 1.25 scaling attack speed.
What?
So, yeah. So, also to note, she does not get attack speed as she levels up. She,
Has no cap on attack speed.
yes,
What?
that is insane. Okay.
Excuse me, what? What do you build? Lethal tempo and just fucking bitch slap the fuck out of everybody in the game?
So what I tried lethal tempo. I just did not have that much damage. So it's either probably Conqueror is probably gonna work.
Conquer PTA maybe?
But Bel'Veth, okay, so it says Bel'Veth attacks faster than normal, but her attacks deal at damage at 75% effectiveness, and her on-hit effects are also at 75% effectiveness. That would be 2 OP if she's attacking
That
4 million
fast,
miles a
yeah.
second.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it says Bel'Veth does not gain attack speed on level up and has no cap on the attack speed. So this, without lethal tempo, you can go over 2.5. In the bot games I've been playing, again, it's easy to get to 5 attack speed, and plus that also works with her. After she uses an ability, she'll get that attack speed boost even more.
Jesus Christ.
It's pretty insane how fast you can get this bitch attacking.
So CC sounds like her fucking enemy. A full stun or a full blind.
Remember what we said? If that's the only way to beat a champion, there's something wrong.
Well, that's the only way to beat a lot of champions. Master Yi, that's the way you beat Master Yi, right? You just lock him down and he can't do anything. I don't know.
Fuck that champion.
Seriously, fuck the champion. But yeah, I mean, that's fucking insane. So yeah, you don't want to play a champion with a snare. You need to play a champion who can actually stun. Like roots aren't going to do it for you. You need an actual stun. Because if they're rooted, they can still auto attack, but if they're stunned, then they can't do shit. But I guess that brings us to her Q. Bel'Veth dashes, dealing 76, which is 10 plus 110% of her AD. Physical damage to enemies she passes through. Each direction has a unique cooldown of 17 seconds that scales down based on her attack speed.
So think of Urgot shotgun legs.
Yes.
So, but it's 4 dashes.
Yes, and it's up, down, left, and right, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it deals 120% damage to monsters and 60% damage to minions. It applies on-hit effects to the first target hit, and each 1% attack speed is equivalent to 0.25 ability haste for this ability's per direction cooldown.
You think they want you to build attack speed on her or
Yep,
what?
yep. They want you to shit your britches too. The looks like the base damage does scale from 10 to 30 per level. The cooldown to per direction. This is weird because in the skill it says 17 seconds, but the cooldown per direction says it scales 16 to 12 seconds. So the number is off here somewhere. I'm not sure which one's right. It's going to be close in the range of 17 or 16. I'm not sure. The minion damage also will scale from 60% to 100%. So as you level this up, you actually be able to do more damage to minions. So I would think if you're playing this champion in lane for whatever reason, you're probably looking at maxing this skill first.
I think in the jungle, regardless, this is what you're gonna.
I haven't looked at other skills, so that's why I was like, I'm not willing to go that far yet. But you've played it, so
Considering
you
this
know
is a
better.
fucking it's a you get 4 dashes at level 1
Yeah, it's pretty
as long
gross.
as you're going in a different direction.
And that brings me to my point about snares and stuns. Most of those casted skill shots are not stuns; they're actually snares. So the Zyra E is a snare. The Lux Q and the Morgana Q are also snares. And they're going to be easily dodgeable for Bel'Veth, considering she can go any which fucking
Yeah.
direction pretty fucking often. So probably don't play Morgana into this champion. Probably don't play Lux in this champion. And probably don't play Zyra into this champion thinking that it's going to help you out, because I think it's going to do the opposite. You need to play a champion maybe with a knockup like a Rakan or a Charm or like an Ari who can dash with her or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like an Olaf who's just unaffected by her bullshit. It says, "Fight me, small warrior person." Anyways, that's her Q. We can move down to her W, above and below.
Bel'Veth slams her tail, dealing 70 plus. It's 70 plus 125 bonus AP
Which doesn't make sense. Isn't all AP bonus AP?
and 100% bonus physical as magic damage, knocking up foes for 3/4 of a second and slowing them by 50% for 1 1/4 second. If a champion is hit, this refreshes the cooldown of Void Surge, her Q, in that direction. This is more or less a Red Cane W, the knockup
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big range too.
Yeah.
It's not as wide as like a Scion Q, but it's got some girth to it.
I can't believe you just used that word to describe the skill.
Girthy, girth and girth, above and below. Nah, girth and below. Okay.
Okay, Girth Brooks.
Base damage, 70 to 230.
So pretty high.
Slow
base
duration.
damage.
Yeah, it's very high base damage. Slow duration is 1 1/4 second to all the way up to 2 1/4 second, and the cooldown is 12 to 8 seconds.
So I'm thinking this skill looks like it's a second max skill because it
Hold on.
enables your Q.
Right, just wait till you get. Tell us about our E. This way.
I see Royal Maelstrom and I'm looking at it and it looks like a bunch of, I haven't even read it. It just looks like a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Oh, it's bullshit.
But you're right. This is kind of like a Kane. The W is kind of like a Kane knockup or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get that little reset because every champion needs a reset and 50 million dashes. Onto Royal Maelstrom, E. Bel'Veth channels and slashes around herself, gaining 70% damage reduction, 20% plus 100% lifesteal, and attacking
X amount of times.
Okay, yes, it's zero. So
Ignore the zero.
X amount of times over 1.5 seconds, with the number of attacks increasing based on her attack speed. Each
There you
attack
go.
strikes the lowest health enemy, dealing 12, which is 8 plus 6% AD, to 46, which is 32 plus 24% AD physical damage based on the target's missing health. Using another ability or recasting ends this ability early. So this is kind of like Aurelia's. Is it her W or her E, whatever her damage reduction
Yeah.
is? Except you get to do dumbass amounts of damage and lifesteal like your Aphelios. Um, excuse me, but what? It does say, as a note, attacks from this ability cannot crit. They deal 150% damage to monsters and apply on-hit effects. That's 6 to 24% effectiveness based on the target's missing health. So that's good to know if you're building like a Blade of the Ruin King on this champion. Any of your on-hit effects on that are going to drop a little bit, or a lot of it actually. So it almost tells you between the two, the passive and this skill, that you don't build on-hit things. There is no Gnasher's Tooth, no Wit's End, no I don't know what's another on-hit item.
What?
No RFC. RFC's got, because the Kerchi shard is an on-hit, I believe. So you're building raw damage and raw attack speed. So probably Phantom Dancer and maybe IE, or maybe depending on obviously what you need. I don't know if you go Bruiser, like maybe you look at like
What?
God,
Gore Drinker?
the Gore Drinker's possibility. What is the Black Cleaver? Is
Stridebreaker?
the fucking word I was thinking of.
Oh.
Stridebreaker, not bad. Black Cleaver, or hell, maybe even go Gale Force in this champion.
See, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of. I think I
Extra dash.
tried. I think I messed around with Stridebreaker. I tried Trinity Force. I tried. I think Shield Bow isn't bad because it has extra lifesteal, a shield,
Yep.
bonus HP.
I would stay away from Kraken Slayer if you're not going to get the on-hit effects of it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I could see Gale Force being a thing. It's an extra dash with an extra closeout ability to do some damage. Or an extra in if you're trying to get in. I mean, you don't have to use the execute as an execute. You can always use it as just a way to get in. And then reproc your Void Surge or whatever. You know, there's a lot of possibilities. It sounds like this champion's got a lot of build diversity. I guess I don't know if Black Cleaver works as a quote unquote on hit.
I'd have to see what how it's defined.
How it's classified. Yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. What would you like? Obviously, Q is first. I would think W just because it's that reset, but maybe you just take 1 point in W.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
I don't know. W has such a high damage rate that it's almost like kind of worth, but that's like a blow up ability, you know. The E
yeah, I
is,
mean,
is your. I'm in the middle of the fight. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, you're fine. No, you're right. I mean, considering the damage reduction doesn't scale,
Yeah.
I mean, it's 70%. That's insane. Okay. And you're healing, the scaling on it for the lifesteal is 20% all the way up to 28%.
But I don't know. See, I'm looking at that. I feel like you should go W second and E third, just because your damage isn't really changing on this, right? The base damage is 8 to 20. Your cooldown, you will get 8 seconds, but obviously you're probably gonna have some ability haste in there. And your lifesteal, you're only getting an extra 8%. It's almost, I almost feel like it's not quite worth maxing this. I still think it's probably more beneficial to max W second.
Yeah.
I think. I think you would go Q, W, E in that order. Obviously with R peppered in where it needs to be. And speaking of that, why don't you tell us what's going on with that thing?
All right, pull up a fucking seat to the campfire because this is a long
It's a
goddamn ability. When they tweeted
Fucking
when
notebook. Jesus
the
Christ.
on the league Twitter, they had to have like 4 separate tweets to like explain everything. Like it's fucking
Jesus.
insane, dude. And then you look at Nasus's passive, he gains 10% lifesteal.
I know, right? Some stupid bullshit like that. All right.
All right. R, Endless Banquet. Passive. Here we go, because every fucking ability has to have 3 parts to it, right?
Yep.
Passively, every second attack against the same target deals an additional 4.5 plus 9% AD true damage, stacking infinitely.
Was bonus AD true damage, by the way?
Oh, yeah, sure. Whatever. Fuck you.
Sorry. I just want to make a distinction because she's gonna build a lot of AD, so that is all bonus AD.
Takedowns against champions and epic monsters leave behind a piece of coral. Active, Bel'Veth consumes Void Coral and slows nearby enemies. She then explodes, dealing 150 plus 100% AP scaling, plus 25% missing health true damage. That is an AoE Garen ult, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it does not based
Doesn't do
on
as
what their
much
missing
as
health
Garen,
is.
but
Or
yeah, yeah.
okay, 25. What is Garen's ult scale off missing HP?
That's a
Whatever.
great question. I'll look it up while you keep
AoE
going on about it.
Garen ult. Okay. She then gains 1 Lavender stack and assumes her true form for 60 seconds. This is a stat check ability.
Yep.
Okay. While in her true form, Bel'Veth gains several evolutions. 100 plus 165% bonus AD and 90% AP max health, 25 movement speed out of combat, 50 attack range, 10% total attack speed. Void Surge can pass through walls.
Jesus.
Okay? Consuming Void Coral from a Void epic monster, Rift Herald or Baron, increases the duration to 180 seconds, and minions that die in her presence are reborn as Void Remora. Basically, Voidlings like Malzahar W. Or from the Surratt portal. Void Remora count as lane minions with 70% HP and 100% attack damage. The applied slow ramps up to 99% while Bel'Veth consumes Void Coral. Health, while in her true form, consuming Void Coral renews the form's duration and restores 100 HP. For some reason, Riot's new thing is not only resets, but I don't want to say infinite, but like extended duration abilities. Like like look at how Swain is now.
Olaf, Swain.
Exactly. You can go
champion.
back. I mean, Viego has X amount of seconds, and then it can refresh when he's in a body. Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's just fat stat stick.
Just to let you guys know, Garen's level 1 ulti does 150 true damage plus 25% of the target's missing health. So, that's pretty much the same as level 1 for this fucking thing.
Except this hits everybody in the vicinity.
Yeah, it is literally AoE Garen ulti. Why does Garen exist in the game again? I have no fucking clue, because this makes no sense at all. This is gonna have to be... There's no... No, they're gonna release it like this, but in the first patch, he's gonna get a fat nerf, because this is dumb.
I mean, I think they've stated, like, obviously when things are on PvE, they are not there to look at how OP things. They're literally there to check for bugs. And then they said they prefer releasing things and then nerfing it instead of releasing it underpowered and then buffing it.
Yep.
So the for leveling it up and the scaling, on hit damage, the true damage that stacks infinitely goes from 3 to 5. The explosion damage base goes from 150 to 250. The missing health damage scales from 25% to 35%.
Which is the same as Garen.
Yeah, okay. The bonus health goes from 100 to 200. Movement speed, 25 to 75.
Jesus.
The range, 50 to 100. And then attack speed, 10% to 20%.
I wouldn't be surprised if that movement speed gets really brought down or totally removed or brought to 1 speed at every level, because she already gets ghosting from her passive.
Yeah.
And if you just add an extra 75 movement speed, that's almost Moby's is 100, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's almost Moby's plus free ghosting. Like, that's fucking dumb.
There's so much shit. Just the fact that when you when you consume the void coral of a void monster and you get the extra minions, you can literally, like, imagine just getting Rift Herald, running top lane, summoning it, and then just killing the wave, and you have like 50. If you remember from her cinematic, there's a bunch of like little fishes that fucking burst through the wall. They literally look like that, and they'll run down the lane and push the lane. It's pretty insane.
And it says the cooldown on this is 1 second.
Right. So it's a reset ability. So say you're in a team fight, and it's like so you'll get the kill or assist or whatever, and there'll be like a thing you can click on. It'll have like an arrow, kind of like if you ever played Kane, when you like go to ult someone, there's like an arrow to show how close you need to be to like hit R, and so it's like that. So you basically like blink. It's not a very far range, but you basically you hit R on the void coral and you'll blink to it, and you'll like channel kind of kind of like a Galio W, I guess. Like it'll take a second and then it'll consume and you'll explode. If you get another kill during that explosion, another void core will be left there and it instantly resets. And you just keep hitting R as long as you're getting, if you're getting killer assists that leaves behind the void coral. So yeah,
Wow.
there's like no cooldown.
Wow, how awesome.
Reset city, baby.
How awesome. It's like we didn't have enough Viego, and Viego didn't accomplish being the attack speed champion that they wanted him to be. So they said, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna give you an attack speed champion, and you're gonna fucking like it. Or die. I don't know, this like we talk about power creep, or I've talked about power creep in the past, and the whole point of this recent durability patch was to help avoid some of that. And I feel like this fucking champion just goes against everything they just did. And this was probably designed by Riot August, so you know what to expect. I don't know. I'm kind of not happy with all that. There's way too, like this feels so overloaded.
Oh no, for sure the stats that you get from your ult shouldn't even
Is fucking
just
well everything. All the base stats for. I mean, obviously the base stat for Void Surge is really weak, but that's not the point. You're not dealing damage. It's the fucking the resets and the dashes. The passive gaining 25% attack speed and being able to scale infinitely. Fucking stupid. The W's base damage, fucking stupid. The E, fucking stupid. Like what? The only counter to this champion is banning it. I don't know. This feels like really absolutely broken. I'm actually really disappointed.
we'll have to see. I have a feeling people won't know what to do with her, and then
Right.
she'll be shitty, and they're
As
gonna
as
buff
usual.
her.
As
Yeah,
usual. I mean, the first time, and part of the reason that they come out with such overloaded stats because people don't know what to do with the champion. And you're right. And you watch as their fucking win rate is god awful. And if they nerf them right away, their win rate stays god awful, and everyone laughs at the champion and says, "Why did you even release that?" If they buff it, everyone complains like it's Yasuo Yoni, and they go, "Why the fuck would you buff that?" It's gonna take probably a good 2 to 3 patches until they figure out where she needs to be. Um, and part of that will be really really overtuned. Part of that will probably be rather undertuned, kind of like Zeri is now, until they find that happy medium. But expect it to take a while. Expect this thing to fucking just take over games. It just sounds so absolutely undeniably broken.
I mean, just it's the other thing that's interesting is just like they promote like the hard farming just so
Yep.
you can get.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy that the attack speed you get just scales too.
Yeah.
You think it'd be a flat rate, but I mean, by
Yeah.
at level 18, every stack is going to give you 1.25% tax. It adds up very quickly, by the way.
You're gonna have to counter jungle this champion early or invade this champion early because it sounds like her levels 1 through 6 are kind of poopy, and then post 6 sounds like she kind of starts to become a monster. So you're gonna have to play your Lee Sins and your Olafs into this champion to keep up.
Yeah, at least take the big objectives away from her because
Yep.
she can just get her ult off if
Yep.
she takes a dragon, Rift Herald, whatever.
Yep.
So
Yep. You could even look at like Nunus who are objective centered, but I think I think your regular tank junglers are gonna have a hard time against this one. I think you need a bruiser to really push in on her and force her to make a mistake or force her to use abilities early and then be able to follow up on her. But I don't know. She's fucking slippery and has so much attack speed. It just sounds gross. I don't know.
so guys, tell us what you think for the
Yeah.
question this week. Just what are you guys' overall opinion of this
First
champion?
first reactions.
Um,
Um, what do you possible strategies? I'd like to know in a Q&A what your thoughts on a strategy against this champion would be.
yeah, what do you think is going to counter her?
Like yeah, how do you play against this thing? Obviously, we know hard CC works. It's almost like this is just like a more advanced Master Yi.
A
So
Master Yi with hard CC.
you pretty much hard CC and a better stat check. So let me know what you guys think about that. I don't know. I don't know if there's really a good poll question.
Yeah, maybe we'll just skip a poll. this week.
Or yeah, you could tell me, unless you want to tell me if this champion's OP or not. But I think we can all agree, looking at all these stats and shit, that she is far overtuned.
Right.
But sometimes I think about that about some champions, and you get in the game like that thing fucking sucks. So that is my one piece of solace I do have for this champion, is that it's very possible that it sucks on release and they have to tune some numbers. But looking at it, just the raw data sounds horrifying.
So yeah, guys, let us know what you think. We will be back on Friday to continue our champion reviews. We got Singed and Zillion
Yes, we
coming up.
do.
That should be a pretty fun episode.
That will be fun
Uh,
because I actually enjoy playing both those champions.
so, guys, as always, hope you're doing well in your games. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you on Friday.
One last thing I just want to add.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching or listening to the news and it's kind of getting you down, feel free to reach out if you need somebody to talk to. I know the world is rather rough right now.
Yeah.
If you need someone to talk to, you guys, we're here. We'll be happy to chat with you off to the side, even if it's about nothing. It doesn't have to be league related. It could be literally about anything. I just think it's important to let you guys know we're here, and we're happy to talk with you if that's what you need, or if you need help finding help. We're happy to use the resources available to us to help you out if we can. Don't let the shit of this world right now get you down.
I like that. Yeah.
And
Reach out.
that's what I want to leave you guys with. You're all here. You're all worth being here. Don't let anybody make you feel less than a human being. And if you need someone to talk to, we're here for you.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, y'all.